We are live, as in platform live. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you see me? John Hancock, Tammy Roberts, Antoine, Rico Rakowski. What's up, my friend? Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for being patient with us. You know, we want to make sure everything was set here. Everything was right and ready to roll for you guys. But I have been in this ridiculous studio that you're going to get a chance to see throughout the next 3 days, what we're setting up here. But I've been watching you guys. I've been watching you jam. I've been reading in the chats. And I felt like I was like a caged tiger ready to pounce and ready to go. I was like, okay, let me at him, let me at him. And so you guys are already ready to play. Play up. Hi. If I haven't introduced myself, or we haven't met yet, my name is Jimmy Hayes Nelson. Most people just call me Coach Jimmy, and I'm going to be your host, your MC, your concierge through this powerful next 3 days. Man, I'm just like you. I was at one time wanting to build a platform, wanted to get my voice out there, and I aligned with the powerful people here at Advance Your Reach, and now look at me. I'm on another stage right here. And so I'm going to be going along this right with you and learning and taking notes. I'm all set up. If I'm not on this stage, I will be learning with you. And so that brings us to a question of, like, what's the best way to get the most out of this event, right? And it's to play up. This event isn't for us to just feed information to you. We are going to co-create this thing together. That means you have a responsibility to play up. I'm going to look up. If you're willing to play up, not only for you and what the potential of this can be, but for the person next to you on that Zoom screen, for your room. Can I see a hand? Can I see a hand if you're willing to play up? Kate says yes. All right, Isabel Rodriguez says yes. Davis Anderson says yes. Penny Fleming says yes. Tammy Roberts says yes. Bill Talbot's like dancing. He's ready to go. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting to see so many familiar faces and know that I'm getting to meet so many new friends. In the chat, will you let me know like where you're popping in from? Earlier in the chat, I saw there are people from Australia here at like 2 in the morning. People from China. Where are you guys at? Amber Daniels from Ohio. Gary Martinez, Colorado Springs. South Africa. From New Zealand. Australia. Dallas, Texas. That's my home. All right, we're already friends. Connecticut, Hawaii, California, Florida, Harlem. Oh my gosh, Colorado. I know I saw China, Calgary, San Francisco, Washington State. Thank you. Thank you for plugging in. Thank you for investing in you. But here we go. So you say, Jimmy, you say to play up. What does that mean? Well, now that we're in this virtual world with these virtual events, this may not be your first one, but not everybody gets the most out of these virtual events because we aren't in a room together. So I'm going to ask you to do this. There's a few things you need to prep to make sure you get the most out of these next 3 days, and to make sure that you are playing up not only for yourself, but for your teammates to your right and to your left and above and below you in your Brady Bunch-ish box. Number one, let's agree to make this a one-tab event. What's a one-tab event, Jimmy? Glad you asked. So often when we are watching things virtually or we're plugging into an online course and you look at your browser and there's 6,000, is anybody else guilty of that? Like 6,000 tabs open for things you got to get back to, or a little reminder there. Who's guilty of that? Who's just saying, yes, I'm a multi-tabber? Andrea says yes, Lachelle says yes, Tony, Roberta, yeah, we're all bad at it. Okay, take a moment right now. Close them all out but this tab. Close, 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 close. Treat this event as if you and I were in the same room together. Give it the respect it deserves. Give yourself and your potential of what you can do in the next 3 days the focus it deserves. All those other tabs, all that other stuff that you were going to get to will be there eventually, right? One tab event. Now, if you have people inside your house, a spouse, kids, a roommate, I would encourage you to have a loving conversation with them that said, hey, the next 3 days, I want to focus on this. And paint the picture. Paint the picture on why this is important. What your vision for this is going to be. Hey, in the next 3 days, I'm going to invest in myself and my story and building my platform because this is what I want to do with it and how it's going to impact us as a family or you in that relationship or for your kids. You know, hey, mom's going to really be focused on this for the next 3 days because I want to create something powerful that will allow our family to have a bigger impact, to do the things and the goals that we've set. Make this about everybody in the house, right? So just explain that to them. Next, you probably want to know like a DoorDash or where you can get food delivered. Make sure you're loaded up on water. Stay hydrated. We are in for a powerful 3 days. And I love the way the team has built this. You don't want to miss any session because each one of these sessions builds on the next one. So we have put this in an order very strategically, and each thing is going to build on the next one. And that one time you decide to tap out, that one time you decide not to play up, and you're like, I'm just going to miss this one, and you kind of zone off, or you open that other tab, or you get distracted. I know I have been at events where it's like the end of day 2, that one nugget that changed everything for me. It's almost like if you had a padlock that had, you need 6 numbers to unlock it. And maybe you're coming into this event, you've got 3 of them figured out. You've got 1 of them. Maybe you don't have any of them. But some of you, as you go through this, maybe you get to 5, and that one time you're tempted to just go, this one's not that big a deal. I'm going to leave. I'm going to tap out. That might be where your final number is to unlock your potential to have the impact that you want to have. So let's play up, and let's make sure that we're staying focused for all of these. I'm going to walk you over here and show you a little bit. We're going to check out this dashboard, this gorgeous dashboard. And what I love is I've already watched so many of you already start interacting with this dashboard. So here is your dashboard. Anything you need to know, schedules. Man, this is so cool. I need one of these at home now. The help desk, webcam etiquette, being present, played out, anything that you're curious about. But I want to focus right here, these little emojis right here. You see these? Somebody, give me some fire emoji. I'm going to see if this works back here. Oh, I see hearts. I see fire. I see more fire. Come on. Fire, 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 fire. Okay, check this out. These emojis are for you through the entire event to interact, to let us know when there's a point that really resonates with you. When something's funny, give me the laughy cry emoji. And why do you want to do all this? Because if you go up here to the top and click points, so look at this. You guys have already been interacting. There is already a leaderboard here that we are going to be giving away some amazing prizes. How do you win the prizes? How do you get points? It's by interacting on here. We're going to have worksheets and answering questions. And so anything you do, so look right here, Gina Casillas. Where is Gina Casillas? She is already off and running. Oh, there she is. Oh, so Gina Casillas with 550 points is already off. And Wasim's in Australia because I worked with Wasim yesterday. What's up, buddy? Yeah, in Australia, rocking and rolling. You know, who needs sleep, man? I'm glad you're back. Wasim, Phoebe, Kristen Gutierrez. So you just want to continue to interact here with the dashboard. Go right here to your resources for me. Your Platform Live workbook is going to be found right there. The cool thing is if you want to go in there and you want to print that out, if you're somebody that's like, Jimmy, I need a physical copy, you can do that there. But for those of you that just want to interact digitally, everything in the workbook you can fill out on your tablet or on your electronic device. Second point right here is the Facebook group. Let's make sure you're in the Facebook group. Any big announcements and things are going to be there. You click right there. And then what you have here in the bottom, and I see so many of you. I saw my buddy Tom Telesco a little bit ago. He had his background up and running. I see so many of you with your backgrounds. Stacy Case has his background up. Roberta Moyer has her background up. If you want to download these cool Zoom backgrounds, that's right there where you get that as well. This is going to be such a powerful event. I'm so excited that you're here with us. You don't want to miss any of this. This is important. You've created some kind of investment. You are giving, your biggest investment is your time, right? Your time. And let's find the way to work together to make this time, when you look back, think about this. Think about where you're going to be a year from now. And somebody asks, somebody says, Isabel Rodriguez, I saw a change in you. Why have you had such an amazing 2022? Where did it all shift? And Isabel looks back at these 3 days, right? Kate Furnish, they see Kate. Somebody sees like what you start doing in the platform you build out of this. And they go, oh my gosh, where did this rock star come from? And you're like, you know what? It's because I decided to pause for 3 days back in November, really double down on creating a plan, getting strategic about my activities, not just running around like crazy. So I am so thankful that you're here with me. I look forward to getting to know you more in the chat. I'll be in and out, don't worry. We'll get to know each other more. We'll have some time to pop you guys up, a little chit chat, talk. So welcome to Platform Live.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
I have a dream. My four little children one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Words change the world. Think about MLK, JFK, and FDR. They stopped and started wars, sparked self-respect, and molded a nation. Words are arguably the single greatest strength of the human species. They are the building blocks of language, and therefore the building blocks of change. Their power is profound. Shakespeare inspires us 800 years after his death. Winston Churchill saved a country and a continent. MLK brought us civil rights. JFK took us to the moon, and FDR ended a depression. You have something equally important to say. We know you do. And deep down, you know you do too. You don't need to be famous or a future chapter in a history book to change the world in your own way. There are people that can benefit from your knowledge and your wisdom, and they need to hear your message. Getting your message published has never been easier. Unfortunately, actually getting your message heard is more challenging than it has ever been. You need a great message. But you also need to break through the clutter and noise that clouds the information age. That's where we come in. We don't let great messages die. You bring your speeches, your stories, and your keynotes. We will help shine the spotlight on them. We will help you craft your words, polish them, and provide the framework and methodology you need to get on the right stages so that your message can be heard by the people that need to hear it. We make sure you have a platform for your message because your message has the power to transform the world. So we ask you, are you ready to share your message with the world? Are you ready to make a lasting impact? Do you have the courage to change people's lives? What chapter will you add to the story that is the human experience? Write that chapter. Welcome to Advance Your Reach.
Help me welcome to the stage the founder of Advance Your Reach, Mr. Pete Vargas.
I'm looking at these comments and I'm just blown away. So excited to be here in South Carolina. You excited? Who's here with me right now? Who's here? I want to see. Yeah, great video. Some of you saying, I'm here. I'm ready to change the world. I've shown up. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wear this shirt on day one because this shirt matters right here. Your message matters. It has the potential and possibility to change people's lives. But it has to get heard. And it has to get seen. Without the eyes and the ears hearing that message and seeing you, it's really difficult for your message to make an impact. And so I'm excited to be here today with you. I'm really, really excited to be here today with you. And I want you to know, I want to start this off. Welcome to Platform Live to everybody. And I didn't intend to start it this way. But, you know, some of you are familiar that a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know why I feel inspired to say this, but a couple of weeks ago, my wife is back at home watching this. I lost my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law fought a gracious battle against cancer, and we lost her 2 weeks ago. And I was reflecting with my wife in Michigan last week before her memorial service, and I said, Kim, last October in 2020, I was sitting down with your mom at our house, and she sat across the table from me. And she said these words to me. She said, Pete, I feel like I have a story that is supposed to be shared that could encourage a lot of people. You see, my mother-in-law was a single parent, and she raised her 3 kids in an amazing way. She worked hard. She worked hard to raise her 3 kids and provide for them, give them a living, love them, lead them in their journey with their faith. She did so many amazing things. And there's so many other single parents out there that are trying to navigate and figure out, how do I navigate this journey of being a single parent? And my mother-in-law sat across from me and she said, Pete, I feel like my story is supposed to be heard. I feel like I'm supposed to tell my story, but this is what she said. She said, I don't think people really care, or I don't know if I can really keep people's attention. And that day in October of 2020, I said, Malia, you have a story. You have something to be shared. I said, you've got something that is so important for people to hear, and I just want to encourage you in that. And I began to navigate in our one-on-one conversation how she could begin to frame and outline and find that story from within. And I said, Malia, I want to make sure that this story gets heard by the world. And when I say the world, I'm talking about her world that she is supposed to serve. And so that was the last of it. That was the last conversation I had. And last Monday, my wife texted me 2 of Malia's journal entries. 2 of Malia's journal entries. And the first journal entry read something like this. It basically said, I want to share my story with the world, but I don't know if people are going to listen. I don't know if I can keep people's attention. I don't know if people even care. And the second journal entry, which was a week after her and I had had that conversation, 1 week after we had had that conversation, the journal entry read something like this. Here is my story. Here is who I'm supposed to serve with this story. Here is how I'm going to serve with this story. My heart, my head is trying to talk me out of this, to tell me I'm not worthy enough. But my heart is inspiring me to say I have to walk this story out. And as I read that journal entry, I was in tears, because in one conversation, my mother-in-law's story that had been lived, she had now written out for it to be told. And I can't imagine over the last year how many people she's inspired and encouraged in her life because of just sharing her story. And so, why do I say that today? I did not have that intended to say to start today. But we're about to go on a journey over the next 3 days. And although I did not talk strategically or tactical with my mother-in-law last October in my office downstairs in Colorado, I talked at a high level. And over the next 3 days, what I want you to know is we are committed to getting your message and your story out to the world on a bigger scale. Because if it doesn't get out there, as one of my good friends, Prince EA, says, it goes to the graveyard untold. And when it goes to the graveyard untold, the impact cannot be had on this world. And so I don't believe there is anybody out there that understands how to advocate and represent a message and a story greater than the people that will be with you this weekend. We care deeply about your story. We care deeply about your message. And I can assure you that after 3 days, we will have that out in 2022 bigger and greater and wider and deeper than it's ever been out in the world. That's my commitment to you. My commitment to you. There is a scripture in Revelation, and what I want you to understand about the scripture, it says, and they will overcome by the word of their testimony. Let me put that in just layperson's terminology. Your testimony is your story. It's how you have overcome in your life, how you've overcome in your health, how you've overcome in your money, how you've overcome in your business, how you've overcome in your relationship or your professional career or your productivity or whatever it is you've done. Your story, your testimony is how you have overcome. And now, how Malia overcame the struggles and the obstacles of being a single parent, of loving people unconditionally, like how she did that through her life, how you've overcome. All of you, Eno, Nicole, Denarian, Isabel, Nate, thank you for how powerful you've shown up. You guys are all overcomers. We've all overcome different things in our life. All of us have. And now what that scripture says is you now can use your story to help other people overcome. Stacy, you can use your story to help other people overcome. Overcome in whatever domain that you are here to represent. There's some of you in the domain of like, I want to help people in business or professionally. I want to help people in their mind. I want to help people in their money. I want to help people in their relationships. I want to help people in their health. I want to help people in their businesses. Like everything is represented here. But the power of your story is it's going to help other people overcome. So I'm honored to be here with you today. I am so honored to be here with you today. What I want to do today is set the tone for you with the State of the Union. Guys, if we can bring those up, and I think they're up, right? Maybe not. Can y'all see that? Yeah, there we go. I want to set the tone with a few things today, and I just want to walk through what you can be expecting this week. And I don't know if there's a way to show that and me. I'm not sure if there's a way to show that and me because I want them to see me too. If we can come up here. Listen, I am committed these next couple of days. We have helped more people build their platforms than maybe anybody else on the planet. Maybe. I don't know that factually. And what I do know to be true is that we have to audit your platform. And so all of you that are watching this first session for free, complimentary, we gifted it to you. In about 45 minutes, every single person will have their business audited. Please do not fill this out because I'm about to fill it out with you once you have a deeper understanding. If you want to know what the greatest people out there in the world that are building platforms for purpose, remember that statement? Platforms with purpose, what they do well and what they don't do well, a lot of it comes from this audit. And so over these 3 days, we are going to have you self-assess by me leading you this morning through that, or in the evening or afternoon or wherever you're at across the world. Welcome to all my friends from across the world. We are going to audit your business. We're going to audit your platform. And you're going to know where you're strong and where you're weak. But the other thing that I am completely committed to doing for all of you that are here, every single session, we will do one piece at the end of the workshop time to build your strategic plan. We will build your strategic plan. Meaning you are going to have a clear-cut, customized plan that's not a cookie-cutter plan because every one of you are at a different phase and a different season and a different chapter of building your platform. So you have got to know how to build out the strategic plan. This will be the final thing that we look at in the final session on day 3. Every session, this is why you don't want to miss any session. Every session, we are filling out a key component of your strategic plan. But we can't fill that strategic plan out before we audit your business today. So here in about 30 or 40 minutes, we're going to begin the auditing process of your business. For all of my people who are watching the preview event on YouTube and in Facebook, you don't have access to the workbook. You don't have access to the dashboard because you haven't made that commitment to being here with us for the 3 days. And so what I want to encourage you to do, you do have access to the audit. I promised you we would audit your business and you will get your business audited. For all of the attendees who have made a commitment to the 3 days, we're going to audit your business in this first session and your platform, but then we're going to build the plan over the course of the next 3 days. I've gone to very, very few events where you walk away with a plan that's based on somebody who is responsible for helping build close to 100,000 people's platforms to the tune of close to $1 billion. Thank you for the fire for that. Yeah, I see the emojis. Every emoji you send this week and urge you points. I'm giving lots of prizes and lots of things away, Phil and Lynn and David. David, thank you for being a Speak Off contestant in room 3. But you will walk away with a plan that's based on evidence and facts that's working and that will work for you based on where you're at. You see how everybody's audit is going to look a little bit different and their plan is going to be complete by the end of the week. Why do you think I want you having a plan? Hey, the workbook is in your dashboard. Just as a reminder, in the dashboard at resources, it says resources at the top. Thank you, Hatsu, for letting folks know that. And thank you for those that have been here the whole time that are really locked in and present. And so go up to the dashboard and to resources. I'm looking at the dashboard right here. If you go to the dashboard and you go to resources up here, there it is right there. You go to resources, you click resources right there, and it'll allow you to download the workbook. You can either print it or you can fill it in as a fillable PDF. So that's how you do that. I love this dashboard, super grateful. I'm actually at Barry and Blue's studio here in South Carolina. It's a beautiful studio, and it's like all of you are here with me at it as well. So I'm excited about this. Who's excited about auditing their business in this first session? Who's excited about auditing? Taking a look. If you fill this in, my buddy Dr. Patel is here. Great to see you, Dr. Patel. If you will wait to fill this out, because I want to lead you in this. And for all of my preview audience, you will go through this too. And at the end of this session, when all of our attendees walk into breakout rooms, go into breakout rooms, I'm going to stay here with my preview attendees at the end of this session as everybody else goes to breakout rooms. So I'm excited about this audit. We will be going through this here in just a little bit. So let's get rolling. Welcome to Platform Live. As you can see, I am stoked to have you here. You guys know, like, platform is a raised or elevated surface on which people or things stand. But for those of you that have been around me long enough, and especially in the last couple of weeks, our definition at Advance Your Reach is a platform, is a raised elevated surface on which people or things can take a stand. A place where your message, your impact, and your income is amplified for a purpose greater than yourself. A purpose greater than yourself. There are people out there building platforms for likes and followers and ego. That's not what these 3 days are about. There are people out there building platforms for entertainment and laughter. No issues with either one of those, but that's not what this weekend is about. There are people who control the microphone that are building platforms and bringing negativity, dissension, and fear. I don't think you're here, but if you're here, leave. I don't need you here. We got plenty of you out in the world. But what we're talking about is this definition: people who are building a platform with the purpose and intention to transform and help people overcome the challenges and the problems that they're facing in their lives. And guess what happens? The impact happens, but the income follows as well. And so you guys have heard me state this, and there is something new on this that you might not have seen. You've got to build your platform in order for you to control the microphone. And when you control the microphone because you've built your platform, you change the world. But this is the epiphany and the aha that I had, and I've been preaching this the last couple of weeks. The only way you can build your platform is by getting the eyes and the ears of the audience who needs your message. The only way you can build your platform is by getting more eyeballs and more ears on you. Addie, getting more eyeballs and ears on you. Sherry, getting more eyeballs and ears on you. And so these 3 days are 100% committed to helping you understand how to get more eyes seeing you and ears hearing you. Because when you build your platform, you control the microphone. And then you change the world. But do you see what the lead domino to that is? I can tell you I want you to change the world all day long. But if you don't have a platform that's being built with eyes and ears attentive towards you, it's very difficult to change the world. And so that's what this entire 3 days is all about. A lot of you might know this, some of you might not, but we are committed. We have helped 100,000 entrepreneurs build their platforms, and we have a goal to help 1 million customers of ours build their platforms to impact 1 billion people in those 7 sectors. You're probably impacting some people in the business realm or professional realm. That's lots of things. Maybe you help them with sales. Maybe you help them with marketing. Maybe you help them with finding their dream job. Maybe you help them with social media, organic, or whatever, or being a better CEO, or being a better CFO, or whatever. There's the business domain. Some of you help people with their mindset. There's the mindset domain. Some of you help people with health, spiritual health, physical health, emotional health. Health is a big category. Some of you have a message that will help people in the health domain. Some of you help people in the finance domain and in the money domain. Others of you help people in the relationship domain. Maybe relationship with their spouse, maybe relationship with their kids, maybe relationship with their friends, maybe relationship with their coworkers, maybe relationship with just people in general. You help people in a relationship domain side of things. Some of you help people in their faith journey. And some of you have a message to help people in the personal growth. Can I get a response from every one of our attendees who are committed to these 3 days, every one of those previewing this first session? Which one of these would you believe is your primary domain in which you are helping people? Kate says health. Wasim says finances. Christian says, oh, it's going so fast, spiritual mindset. Hey, if it's spiritual, then it's spiritual. Personal growth. Rico says personal growth. The difference between personal growth is I really feel like spiritual faith is an emphasis on the spiritual faith side of things. A relationship with God. Relationships. Holistic, which would be health. Personal growth and finances. Spiritual, faith, mindset, business. Can I get a comment from every single person that's watching? I'm going to go back and look at all of these, but these are the platforms that we stand to build. Watch this. I'm going to see if my training from Blue was good. We'll see here. Bam. Bam. Whoops. Okay. Bam. Bam. And yes. Dude, this is my first chance on this board. It's good, huh, Blue? You liked that, didn't you? So watch. Here's why I want you to see this BHAG that I just outlined. This becomes really important. We are committed to 1 million, helping 1 million people build their platforms. Who's one of those million? Anybody in this room? Yeah. Anybody in this room? 100%. Now watch this. Every year we audit this. We audit this and we ask these customers right now, watch this, right now it's only about 100,000. And we ask them the question, how much impact did you have? How many customers did you impact? And they tell us a number. And then we ask the next question, in what area or which of the 7 domains did you impact those customers? And then the third and final question is, what was the income that was created? How many people did you impact? In what domain? And how much revenues was created? This is the basic thing that we ask our customers, and here is what we believe. We believe this. We believe in all 7 of those domains in our BHAG. Through you. It's only through you that we can impact 1 billion people. It's through the 1 million entrepreneurs in those 7 domains that we impact 1 billion people. So back on this BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. All of you are going to have a BHAG today. If we can bring that slide back up, back to this BHAG, all of you at the end of the day today, we have one of the most powerful activities that we've ever done at our live event. And all of you are going to have a BHAG. And your BHAG might not be this big. And that's okay, because my BHAG was not this big when I got started 5 years ago. But what I want you to do is, Stacy, I want you to find yourself in this BHAG, because I'm committed to helping 1 million entrepreneurs reach 1 billion people. And the only way I can do that is if I'm cutting edge and know the latest and greatest ways to get more eyes and more ears on you. Yeah, more eyes and more ears on you. And so I am really excited. Like I told you, we're about to begin your platform audit. We're about to begin your platform audit here in just a second. And all of you that are at the live event, my preview audience, you'll get the audit. My preview audience, if you just decide to stay for the 3 days, I hope you do, because we're going to build your game plan, your strategic plan, and you will walk away with this strategic plan in a very powerful and profound way that allows you to do that. What I want to share with you really briefly is, why do I care about platforms? You see, some of you have heard me tell it at a very high level, but I haven't told it in the deeper level. And Pat Quinn really encouraged me to tell this story in a deeper level. That picture that you just saw was a picture of my pops and I. And my pops, I grew up in the inner city of Dallas, and my parents had a really bad relationship. And when I was 5 or 6 years old, my parents were like yelling and screaming at who was going to keep me and who was going to keep my sister. It was a tug of war going on. They were deciding to break up, and I remember being in the middle, and I remember thinking to myself, one day it's not going to be like this for my family. And my dad, unfortunately, won me, and my mom won my sister, and that began this extremely abusive relationship with my pops for the next several years. We lived in Arizona, and I remember the bars that my dad took me to. I remember the times he left me at home all by myself because he didn't have money for babysitting. And he'd leave me at home as a second grader all by myself for an entire weekend, give me $20 and tell me to be brave. I remember every single time that the Dallas Cowboys lost, what that meant for me. And they lost a lot in the 80s. They lost a lot in the 80s. And I remember my grandmother taking me away and saying, "You're coming to live with me." I'm not my dad's mother. "You're coming to live with me. You're not going to live with your dad anymore." And my grandmother brought me into Hereford, Texas. And she loved me, and she showed me this path, and she showed me this way of living. And in junior high, I got the opportunity to hear a couple of different men speak. Emmett Smith, who some of you heard on the platform tour, and David Robinson. I heard them speak. And I remember thinking, like, man, that is the type of man that I want to be one day. That possibility exists. Like, I can be a father who loves his wife and who loves his kids. And I don't have to have this abusive relationship that I was so used to coming out of. And I can have something that I'm passionate about in life. Like, listen, I want you to see, as these men shared their story, they were implanting in me, embedding in me, seeding in me the possibility that existed of overcoming and not having what I was used to, but having something greater in my life. They showed me a possibility. As a 7th grader, it's made such an impression that 2 of my favorite numbers are 50 and 22. And then my dad comes back into my life shortly after that. And through 7th grade, all the way through 12th grade, 8th grade through 12th grade, I tried everything to get my dad's attention. All I wanted was for him to say he was sorry. All I wanted was for him to let me know that he apologized and that he would do things different and that he didn't mean to do the things that he did. He just didn't know any better. His 7 siblings, when he came back into our life, tried to tell him to make things right. His mom and dad tried to tell him to make things right. We went to counseling. We went to church. We did everything. I tried to do everything just to get him to say he's sorry. And nothing worked. Nothing worked. And so I went to school and I was like, I'm giving up on my dad. And I shared this with a big sports agent guy last week. Some of you might have heard me on his podcast or on his show. I said, I just realized why I wanted to be a sports agent. I went to college thinking I wanted to be a sports agent. And the reason I did, anybody want to take a guess at why I wanted to be a sports agent? I'm looking at the comments here. No. Not to make money. No. Because of 50 and 22, Gary Thomas. That's exactly right. I wanted to be a sports agent because I said, what if I could represent people like 50 and 22? What if I could represent people like David Robinson and Emmett Smith? What if I could represent him? What if I could actually get their message out to the world to impact little Pete's like they impacted little Pete? What if I could? And then I started to realize, law school and 4 more years of college, and I'm not super smart guy, like book smart, like real world experience. Yeah, but book smart, not so much. And that's been the narrative that I've told myself. But a couple of days ago, a powerful guy who used to be a sports agent said, yeah, you weren't supposed to be a sports agent. You were supposed to be an agent for change agents. You're a change agent. You help represent people who make a change in the lives of other people. And it was like this epiphany for me. Yes, I'm not representing athletes. I'm representing change agents. And I need 1 million change agents to impact 1 billion people on an annual basis. If 1 million change agents only have 1,000 customers, if my 1 million change agents only impact 1,000 customers on average a year, we impact 1 billion people. The only way that happens is through you. And so I thought I was going to go into this business realm. I thought I was going to go into the sports agent. And I thought I was going to go into sports agent, but then I kind of backed off. I got a business degree, a marketing management degree. And I was on my way for a high-paying $80,000 job in Dallas, Texas. I was going to go to Dallas, Texas, and then my youth pastor called me. My pastor called me, where I had come to know my faith in Jesus Christ when I was 15 or 16 years old, a small Nazarene church in Hereford, Texas. He said, Pete, our youth ministry is falling apart and we need a youth pastor. We need someone who's going to come in here. And I'm like, Pastor, I don't have theology background. I've never been in a religious class in my life. Like, I have a personal relationship, but I don't know anything about theology. He said, I don't need somebody who knows anything about theology. I need somebody who's going to love our kids. Who's going to love our kids? Cool, okay, I can do that. What's the pay? What's the compensation? $18,000. Did you say $80,000? No. 18, 1, 8. $18,000. $18,000. Okay. Probably not going to happen. Like, I got this $80,000 job over here, this $18,000 job over here. And there was something inside of me that stirred me so much that said, I have to go do this. And I understand, because God wanted to see me faithful with a youth group before he saw me faithful with you. He wanted me to be faithful in the small things, in the small salary, in the small town, in the small youth group, before I could ever be faithful with 1 million entrepreneurs. If I couldn't be faithful in that, how am I going to be faithful with you? I look into your eyes, and guys, I want them to see that I can see them. I look into your eyes, and I am so present with you guys this week. I'm so present with you, David and Bill and David. I guess I could just say David a few times, and that would get like 13 of you guys. But I see David Herman, and I see David Ornell, and the 7 other Davids, and Janet, and Ani, and Sophie, and Claire, and Tony, and Robert, and Christina, and Moss, and Lauren, and Anna, and Andrea, and Sherry, Christian. Like, I am here with you guys this week. God has given me this opportunity because I have been faithful with the small things. And now I get the opportunity to be faithful with you guys. Get the opportunity to be faithful with you guys. And so, guess what I chose to do? And guys, if y'all can bring my slides up, that would be great. Guess what I chose to do? I chose to go and take over as youth pastor of this small little West Texas town. That's the church. You see that sign right there? It says Church of the Nazarene. And way back there in the right-hand corner, like the farthest right-hand building, I want you to remember that building right there. Because that building is a demonstration of when I started to learn how to build a platform. That back right building, all the way to the far right next to that tree that you see back there, is significant. Because I haven't just helped the Dean Graziosis, the Tony Robbins, the Stormy Wellingtons, the Michael Hyatts, the Grant Cardones. I haven't just helped another 100,000 entrepreneurs. It started right there with these 3 girls. My first Wednesday night, there were 3 kids in my youth group: Stacy Wilt, Jory Porter, and Mackenzie Ellis. I paused because they now have different names because they're all married. Mackenzie's not married. I've officiated Stacy's wedding. I've officiated Jory's wedding. There were 3 kids, and I said, girls, we're going to build this youth group, but we have to have more eyeballs. Antoine, we have to have more ears hearing our message. Our message doesn't matter, actually, if nobody hears it. Does your message matter if nobody hears it? It matters for you, but I'm talking about for other people. Does your message really matter if nobody hears it? Does your message really matter if it was intended for you to reach thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands? Or some of you feel called to reach millions. Not everybody feels called to reach millions. But if it was your purpose on life and God said you were supposed to reach millions, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, thousands, hundreds, and you only reached a few, you are not fulfilling the calling on your message. So I had 3, and I was faithful with that 3. And I told those 3, we're going to bring in speakers. And what I want you to recognize is we brought in speakers. Those were 8 of the speakers that I brought in to share their messages to my youth group. Listen, I'm already platform building at 23 years old in Hereford, Texas. I got 3 kids. If I want to do something, I've got to build a platform. I've got to reach more kids. I've got to grow that youth group. So I brought in these speakers. I bet you, unless you've heard me say their name, you don't know any of these speakers. Do any of you know any of these speakers in the chat? Now, if you've heard me say their names before, don't let that count. But if you haven't heard me say their names, could you tell me one person's name on that chart? No, there's not a Tony Robbins. And if you can, tell me who. I want to see if you know. No, it's not TD Jakes. And no, the guy at the top left is not George Bush. I get that all the time. Yeah, you can tell that's a Dallas Cowboy because he has a Dallas Cowboy thing on, but you wouldn't know his name? Nobody. It's not Darren Woodson. No. Like nobody, you can't. Now here's what I want you to know. These are the people that moved my youth group to grow from 3 kids to 800 kids in 4 years or less. In a town of 15,000 people. This was the largest youth group per capita in the world. God has empowered me since I was 23 years old to be somebody who represents platforms that have a greater purpose than themselves. Since I was 23 years old. I've been figuring this stuff out since I was 23 years old. The largest youth group per capita in the world. That's the Hereford brand. That's our newspaper. In a town of 15,000 people. 800 people at the grand opening of our $1.2 million building. Remember that building I told you? As our youth group grew, I went to the church and I said, church, we need to build $1 million youth facility. And our kids have already raised the down payment because of one of the speakers that they heard in this picture that talked to them about the importance of being a giver and not a taker. The importance of investing in themselves and investing in things greater. Yeah, a couple of those speakers taught my kids those principles. So when it was time to build the youth facility, the 3 girls all of a sudden became 800 kids, with hundreds of those kids giving thousands and tens of thousands of their own dollars to fund the down payment of that youth building. Man, that's profound. You see, those speakers, you don't know them. So they're the best kept secret. But the people we work with, I don't love this. I don't want you to be the best kept secret. I want you to be known in the industry and niche that you serve. I want you to be known. I don't want you to be the best kept secret. And so one of the things that we have done is help people no longer be best kept secrets. No longer be best kept secrets. And one of those speakers, and you've heard me talk about him, his daughter was the first girl killed at Columbine back in 1999. His name is Daryl Scott. Right there you can see it, high school massacre. And you see Rachel Joy Scott, his daughter, is one of my heroes because she left her family with 5 diaries, and she wrote this paper 1 month before she was killed called My Ethics, My Codes of Life. And in this paper, I want you to see the core sentence of what she stood for. Do you know what you stand for? Do you know what you stand for? Do you know what you stand for? She did. She said, I have this theory that if one person will go out of their way to show compassion, that it'll start a chain reaction of the same. People will never know how far a little kindness can go. She knew what she stood for. She had her big, hairy, audacious goal. And it revolved around showing compassion. And her journals were the demonstration of when she succeeded and when she failed at living out her BHAG, her goal, her purpose. Yeah, she shared even some of her failures. So this man came and shared his story with the kids at Hereford High School, and Freona High School, and Dimmitt High School. And then that night he shared with the parents. And my dad was in that audience. My dad was sitting in the back. I'm 23 years old. My dad's 43 years old. I'm still that little boy wanting that apology, wanting my dad to overcome, wanting my dad to change, wanting him to be the father that I never had, one day the grandfather when I would have kids. And Daryl Scott's final challenge in the evening to all of the parents is he said, parents, you never know how long you have left here on earth with your kids. How many parents do I have today? How many kids do you have in the audience? How many kids? I always like to reward my biggest number. Don't be lying either. Don't be telling me 42. I got 5 as the biggest number right now. Got 5. Yeah, somebody getting creative. You realize sometimes it takes creativeness. You're not willing to be creative. Wow, Bruce, I am so sorry. 4 miscarriages. Susan Millsaps is our winner right now with 7 kids. 7 kids. Some of you are like 5 kids and 13 grandkids. That's creativity. I love that. That's creativity. That's creativity. Well, Daryl said this. He said, parents, you never know how long you have left here on earth with your kids. That's never rang more true than last week when I was with my mother-in-law. 66 years old, she died way too young. He said, tonight, I want you to do one of 2 things. And here would be a challenge to all of you watching. I know this doesn't relate to our content, but it definitely relates to our content. He said, would you go and tell your kids how much you love them? If they're in your home, have a meaningful conversation and you let them know how much you love them. And if they're not in your home, you call them and you tell them how much you love them. And he said, there's a second group of you. You've got to go ask for forgiveness for the parent that you've been. You've done something to your kids that you've never asked for forgiveness. You've always made excuses. You've always ignored it. You've always blamed it on other people. And it's time for you to go make things right with your kids, because I know one thing to be true. I didn't know that April 20th, 1999 would be the last day that I saw my daughter. And that the next time I would see her would be in a casket. And that night, my pops went home and he wrote me a letter. And he said, I'm sorry for the father I've been. Here my son is having an impact on hundreds of kids' lives, and I can't have an impact on my only son's life. He asked me for a second chance to do things right, and he told me for the first time in a decade, multiple times, how much he loved me. My wife and I were sitting at our little tiny house because we had a really small salary, and we were weeping and we were crying. You want to know why I care about platforms? Why I will be the leading authority in the world on building your platform for decades and decades and hopefully forever? Do you want to know why I care? Because it stems from somebody who shared their message that finally got my dad's attention to transform him and my relationship. Remember one of the 7 domains? Relationships. That guy's message transformed my relationship. Transformed my relationship. That was the day that I dedicated my life, because of the change with my father, because of the change with my dad. That was the day that I dedicated my life to helping you build your platform. Now, 3 quick chapters, and the 4th chapter is what matters the most to me. 3 quick chapters that started with that man. That man is where I started. I called him 303-910-0. I'll save the last 3 numbers because I don't want you to call him tonight. Real talk, David, that's his number. I called him. I said, Daryl, you have to get this out to more kids. Who are you trying to serve? Well, Pete, I go to churches sometimes like yours, but really I feel called to serving school systems. Oh, okay. School systems. Yeah, I want to transform the climate and culture of school systems. Listen, I'm starting to set up the next 3 days. Okay, cool. Are you reaching a lot of people? Not so much. Last year we did $52,000. The year before that we did $150,000. Whoa. Wait. Am I getting that right? Like, did you just say what I think you said? You did $150,000 in revenues 2 years ago, and you did $52,000 this year? Like, that's going the wrong way. But he was so passionate. He was so passionate because he knew he had something so big. He knew he had something so big. I said, cool. So here is a documentation. I want you to see this. This is really important. 2002, $150,000. Now, they are a 501c3, but they were serving school systems. Watch this. Anybody that knows 501c3s knows they have 990s. I want you to see that everything I'm telling you is evidence-based, is backed up by either data or life experiences. Like, we've been building platforms since I built that youth group from 3 kids to 800 kids. That was my first platform I built. I hope you recognize that, but this is the second when I did it for somebody else. When I did it for somebody else. What did we do? What did we do to help him? We did what these next 3 days are about. What did we do to help Eric Worre last year? We did what these next 3 days are about. What did we do to help Stormy Wellington or Dean and Tony or Grant Cardone? I'm with Grant in 2 weeks at one of his events. What did we do for the 100,000 students? That's what these next 3 days are about. And the outcome for him, watch this. This is so important, Kimberly. I love your name because my wife's name's Kimberly. That's what happened. A guy who is about to shut his doors all of a sudden went from $63,000 to $6.5 million. Oh, Pete, that's the income. What's the impact? He went from impacting thousands of kids in 2003 to millions of kids on an annual basis. And he went from teen suicides in 2011 being prevented every single day and multiple school shootings being prevented every month. Whoa! We built this youth group's platform. We built another person's platform. You know who the hardest platform is to build? You guys here, you want to know the biggest thing getting in the way is you. You will promote and build the platforms of everybody else. But when it comes to building your own platform, you get in the way. Not all of you, a lot of you. You get in your own way. And so the hardest platform was my own. In 2015, because of Brendan Burchard, and I sent him a text a couple of weeks ago, because of Brendan Burchard and being at one of his events, Advance Your Reach was born. And I'm like, okay, I know I did this in the youth group. I know I did this for Rachel's Challenge, but can I do it for myself? I simply took the techniques and the strategies and the things that worked as we did it for others, although with great resistance, because I was afraid. It's one thing to talk about Brendan and how much I love him, or Dean and how much I love him, or Stormy and how amazing she is. It's another thing to talk about myself. But I got over that. I got over that because of a lot of mentors, including a mentor of mine, Pat Quinn, who's going to be co-teaching with me this week. It took me longer to get over than what I thought, but as soon as I got over, look at this. Wow, 2018, one of the fastest 5,000 growing companies in the United States. 2019, first 8-figure year, one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. 2020, multiple 8-figure year, one of the fastest growing companies in the United States, because I got over me. And realized it's not about me, it's about the people I serve. And as long as I love the people I serve, then I can get out of the way. So now all of a sudden, I've built that platform. But the people that I'm most proud of is helping my customers build their platform. We will cross the 100,000 mark here really shortly of customers. And what I want you to know is we surveyed our customers and look at what our customers, this is not in the last 5 years. This is in the last, actually 2018, 2019, and 2020. This is what our customers documented. Remember I told you we survey you once a month and ask you how many people you've reached, how much money you've generated, and in what industry or what domain that you're doing that? Well, this is the reported numbers from 2018, 2019, and 2020. $500 million, impacting 72 million lives. The only way we reach $1 billion is with you. A lot of you know this, but just in the last year, we've helped our clients generate close to $250 million, just some of our bigger one-on-one clients. And these one-on-one clients will pay us 7 and multiple 7 figures to build their platforms. Dr. Sal, did you hear that? Carlo, did you hear that? 7 and multiple 7 figures to build their platforms. And for some of you, these 3 days, investing the time and the $97 was a stretch, and I hope that your brain is starting to think bigger now. Because what are we going to do? We're going to pull back the curtain of the exact things that we've done with them and the 100,000, close to 100,000 customers of ours. That's what we're going to do. And I love some of these, and you guys can make these big. You can make these bigger for me right here and take me out, but I want you to see these. Like, read these. This is what people are saying, some of the people you know. If my life ended tomorrow, I'd say that Pete Vargas is one of the people that helped me reach more people and make a bigger difference in the world. Dean said Pete's the authority on stages, i.e. platforms. You want more impact and profit, right? This method could scale your business without stealing your life away. Stormy Wellington said, I knew from Pete's track record and what he's created that he could take me where I couldn't take myself. And Eric Worre said, what Pete helped me do last year doubled the revenues in my business. To me, that's a measure of impact. It's pretty profound. I wanted to own this category so much. Some of you know me as the stage guy. But what I've started to learn is that we actually know how to build a platform. Stages are part of building a platform. But I wanted to own this domain. And so last year, the guy who had one of the bigger companies on platform, which was Platform University, Michael Hyatt, we purchased his company in the midst of a crisis in the world. We purchased his company, Platform University, because we were now committed to helping build their platforms. And so in 2021, we're redefining the stage and we're helping you build your platform. And I need 1 million of you. And more importantly, I need 1 billion, you to have 1 billion customers. Those million, I need to have 1 billion customers in these 7 domains. So my question is, who is that next person that we're going to be highlighting around the impact that your platform has had? Brandon Scott, I saw you right away. Wasim, I saw you right away. I see you. I see you, Larita. I see you, Connie. Like, I hope that is what you're committed to this week. I hope that's what you're committed to this week. About 10 minutes away here, from 10 or 15 minutes away from going into a breakout room. But if you were with us on the platform tour, let me set the frame. Let me give you the highlight reel, because we have thousands of people that are previewing this first session on YouTube, on Facebook, on a private page, because I want to audit your platform. I want to audit your platform, and I want to give you the highlights. But I'm telling you, for all of you that are committed to being here the next 3 days, every session, you're not just going to get the highlights, you're going to get the strategic plan, a clear plan in 2022. So what does that look like the next 3 days? A lot of you saw this Build Your Platform framework. We talked about this. We did this on the platform tour, but my team and I evolved it to make it much more simple. We evolved it to make it much more simple. All of these elements are part of what you're about to see. But how did we simplify it? We simplified it this way. This is the trajectory that we are on in the next 2 days. The communication element, getting clear on Your clarity falls into communication. Like you being clear and clearly communicating the problem you solve and who you serve, but also communicating your signature talk and communicating your content to the world. That falls into the communication bucket. Your products and services. You will not change people's lives without products and services or without them being able to go deeper with you. And your platform. Your platform. That's the eyes and the ears. That's other people's stages. That's your own stages. That's your sales and marketing plan. That's your social media. That's what falls under platform. Tomorrow is all about platform. Today is about the first two things. Tomorrow is all about the eyes and the ears and what's working. And Sunday is all about how you scale it and how you get out of your own way. How you scale it and you get out of your own way. Pat Quinn and myself will be your coaches on this journey. We will be your coaches on this journey. And I'm honored that Grant said this 2 weeks ago. He blew up all of his social media, every one of his social media channels. Anybody know the 4 people in this picture? Chris Harrison, anybody know the 4 people in this picture? Yeah. 2 weeks ago, Grant blew this up on all of his social channels. I hit him up and I'm like, dude, I didn't know you were saying that. Thank you. That means the world to me. For you to say I'm one of your favorite coaches. That's Stormy Wellington. She's the coach. She is a coach. She is serving the African American personal development. She feels called to being the best in that. She is an unbelievable coach. That's Tim Grover. Oprah calls him, Tim Story. That Oprah calls him her pastor, her coach. That's Tim Grover. Anybody know who he coached? Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant. So for me to be in that category, I am your coach. And guess what? The way that Grant speaks about me, he always speaks about Pat Quinn the same way. So over the next 3 days, you get to be coached by 2 people who are helping lead the charge with building people's platforms. And I thought, why would Grant say that? And then I remembered this quote of his. 3 years ago, when I got my chance to be in front of Grant, I delivered my signature talk. All of you will be delivering your signature talk in the next couple of hours today. And Grant said, after hearing me speak, he said, I let Pete know I've left hundreds of millions of dollars on the table from not knowing him 20 years ago. If you think your 3 days, and I don't take your 3 days for granted, but if you can't be here for 3 days, if Grant saw that in 15 to 20 minutes, that he had left 20 years on the table, like imagine what these 3 days can save you in terms of time. And so here's where I want to set the tone for the highlight reel. There are 4 things. We are going to do 4 sessions today. This is session 1. 4 main sessions tomorrow. We have a bonus session in the evening tonight, a powerful additional session tonight, and the speak off tomorrow night. We'll give you dinner breaks for those. But then we got 4 sessions the following day. And here are the 4 pillars that will happen in each session. This might not be in your workbook. I would write this down. Every session we will teach for 45 to 55 minutes. You will then take action, and we will have you actually take action on what we feel will be a needle-moving activity for your platform growing. You will take action during the course of the 3 days. Like 10 to 12 times. And then you will go into breakout rooms where 30 different people will speak into that action. They'll tell you the good, the bad, and the blind spots. Do you realize at an event like this, the breakout sessions are when people want to check out sometimes, but yet the feedback is like the breakout sessions were the most profound time? Why? Because you get personalized people speaking into your platform. And my team members are some of those in those rooms. Don't leave those times. And right after every breakout, we will build this. By session 8 or 9, actually by session 8 or 9, we will ask you a few questions after the breakout sessions. We'll bring all of you back into the room. And either Pat or I will ask you 1 to 3 questions that will help populate your 2022 build your platform strategic plan. If all you do is walk away with this filled out, I've won. You're going to miss elements of it if you're missing sessions. So please be here as we ask the questions, because the questions will only be on the dashboard. The questions we ask are what populate the results in there. These are the 4 parts of every session. And so what I want to do, that's the plan I just talked about. I want to start the auditing process right now. I want to start the auditing process right now. So for all of you in the preview session, and we're going to go out to breakout rooms here in a little bit, but for all of you in the preview session, this is the audit. You've got it on YouTube. They're posting the links. You don't have access to the workbook because you're previewing this first session. My intention is this first session has blown you away to want to stay for 3 days. I hope it is. And we're not even done. We're almost done, but we're not done. So I want you to pull out this audit. For those of you that are part, I see all of your faces. This is in your workbook. This is in your workbook. We're about to go through the audit little by little, so we can figure out where you're strong and where you're weak. Who has their audit? Let me see your hands in the Zoom. Let me see your hands in the Zoom if you have your audit in front of you. Denarian, you don't. Natalie, you don't. Come on. Ariel, you don't. David Leith, you don't. Jennifer, you don't. Like when I say raise your hand, raise your hand. And if your hand's down, that means you don't have it. Team, if you see somebody with their hand down in a Zoom room, direct message them. Make sure they got access to this baby. Christian, Adami, do you have yours? You got yours? Hand up, Christian? Yep. Okay. This audit is important. I can't see everybody on Facebook. I can't see everybody on YouTube or on the private room, but I'm trusting my team has given you a link to have access to this audit. So let me set the tone for the next 3 days, and we're going to take this audit and we're going to do this audit as I go through the piece of the highlight reel of the next 3 days. So here we go. Day 1 is today. I want to set the tone of the purpose of a platform, why platforms matter. I want you to understand that you are here to overcome, help people overcome with your message. But then, right after this, today is all about communication and signature talk. Communication and signature talk. So the next session, we have got to get clear on the problem you solve. And for those of you that know the problem you solve, how do we go deeper into that problem you solve? How do we truly begin to understand the other person's pain, or the other person, helping them understand how the pain they want to get rid of in their life, or the pleasure that they're trying to create in their life? How do we go deeper in a way to speak into their language that we get their attention? How do we make sure that we're crystal clear? I'm setting up the audit questions, so pay attention to this. How do we make sure we're clear on the exact market we're supposed to serve? Marketing is getting harder because of Apple doing things that, to me, are so inappropriate for small business owners. It's not inappropriate, maybe not, but the right word is like it's going to hurt small business owners. They did it on the advertising platforms. They're now doing it on email platforms. Why does that matter? That matters because all of my friends who I sent a survey out to this week, and I'll show that to you here in just a second, a lot of them said, you better be clearer and clearer on who your exact market is and where they're at, because marketing is getting harder. And then the biggest thing out of this first session, I want everybody tonight in our activity, tonight Kat Hoke is with us. And if you don't know Kat Hoke, your mind is about to be blown. But tonight she's going to facilitate an activity that will lead us into making a commitment around our big, hairy, audacious goals. I will be able to see all of your big, hairy, audacious goals. In this first session, we have to get clear on your big, hairy, audacious goal. Then session three, it takes one powerful message, one powerful story, one powerful signature talk to nail it. We are going to train you. Pat Quinn is going to train you on how to deliver a signature talk that converts customers. This is the greatest marketing tool that you will have in your business and life forever. Nothing in the world will change the power of communication. Ads might come and go, challenges might come and go, this thing might come and go, but your communication won't. This is the greatest marketing tool you have. And how well are you doing that right now? How well are you doing that right now? All of you will deliver your signature talk in a shortened version in this third session. And so I want to ask you a question here. I want you to pull your audit, and we're about to go through the communication bucket right here. And I want you to score yourself, and I want you to be honest. On a score of 1 to 10. On a score of 1 to 10. I want you to rate yourself on how clear are you on the audience you serve. How clear are you? How clear? 1's low, 10's high. How clear on the problem you solve? How great is your high converting signature talk? I didn't say, Dominic, how good is your talk? I said, how great is your high converting signature talk? How clear are you on your big, hairy, audacious goal? How developed are you with your presentation skills? And do you have somebody that's consistently giving you feedback on your communication? Will you rate yourself in all 6 of those buckets? 1 through 10. Everybody, preview event. This is going to help you identify your strengths and your weaknesses. And by the way, we're speaking to all of this stuff over the course of the week. Will you do that for me? Robert Martinez says he's got a 24 out of 50. Yeah, thank you. You and then you tally all 6 scores and you put your section total to the right. Katu says 26 out of 50. Man, 26 out of 50. Christina. Guys, you're in the dashboard right now. So team, if they're having trouble in the dashboard, no, it should be out of 60, guys, not out of 50. Thank you for that. Thank you. It's not out of 50. You have 6 questions, so you could have as high as 60. So 39 out of 60, 40 out of 60, 31 out of 60, 36 out of 60. Roberta says she's a 20 out of 60. David, a 30 out of 60. 44 out of 60. Yeah. Angela, Lord help me. Hey, you called. I'm not the Lord, but the Lord has entrusted me with platforms. So, and I say that with confidence. Wayne, okay, 46 out of 60. Wayne's my high of the day right now, but still barely passing. That would still barely be a passing grade. Yeah. The form is under the resource bucket. Cool. All right, I'm going to keep moving on. We're still in day one. But today, at the end of the day, you are going to understand not just the 17 products and services that people have in the market. I'm going to help you understand the 5 that are 5 of my favorite and 5 that a lot of my friends are using too. And I want you to get clear on 2022, making sure that you have a low ticket, a mid ticket, and a high ticket product. How do you price those products? And here's the biggest part of the teaching today, is we are going to help you knock out 3 products, kill 3 birds with 1 stone. How can you knock out all 3 products? By doing the work 1 time. That's today how we're going to end the day. End the day. So I want to go to the product section here. This is a very important one. And there's a few different questions that I pose here on the deal. Do you have a proprietary process? I was just on the phone with a very big name 3 days ago. And his mind was blown when he realized he didn't have a proprietary process for his company, for his events, for his products and services. A proprietary, if you like, I don't even know what that is, you should probably put a 1. Do you have a low, mid, and high ticket offer that is complete? Not an idea in your head. You could begin to sell them today. And you feel confident with them. If you're like, heck yeah, really confident, then why haven't they sold? But like, where are you? Then I ask the question, do you have a low, mid, and high ticket offer that are generating sales for you today? If you only had one of those 3 generating sales, you might rate yourself at a 3 or a 4. Do you have several customer testimonials around your products and services? Do you have a free offer to collect leads from audiences? And do you actually have a free offer that's actually generating a lot of leads right now? Some of you are smiling, and now you're starting to understand the deficit of why your platform isn't where you want it to be. Some of you are starting to understand, man, I'm good. Wow. So this is under products. This is under products. Make sure before you give me your score that you put the word that we're doing, so when we go back into the chat, we'll know that's your product score. Your product score. Let me give you about a minute to do that. Wow. Got some 6s, some 15s, some 14s. Cool, we got a 51. Tony, I love that. 14, 6, 6, 8. Woo, Pat, we got some work to do on this. Got some work to do on this. Gary Martinez, come on, buddy. We got some work to do. Gloria, some work to do. Cool. All right, let's go back up here. Here's how we're going to end day one. We're going to give you a little bit of a dinner break. But what we're going to do is we're going to do our charity give back. I am going to be presenting the big checks on stage today. Who's ready for that? Who is ready for that? I'm going to be presenting the big checks on stage. We're going to do a dinner break. And then tonight, the experience that we have, none of you will want to miss, because it will be so personalized to allowing you break through and get out of your own way. And then at the end of that experience, we're going to do a commitment of what you are taking a stand for, your big, hairy, audacious goal. That's day one. That's day one. And then we're moving to day two. And we're about to go to our third scoring platform. Day two is all about the platform bucket. It's all about the platform bucket. Tomorrow, to kick off the stage, to start it off, will be me. Our students have booked 328,000 stages, have been in front of tens of millions of people in the last 3 years. How have they done that? They've done it with that campaign that you see in front of you. Other people's stages are one of the cheapest and easiest ways to generate new customers and new leads into your business. But a lot of you aren't doing it. And then after I do that session, Pat Quinn is going to help you build your own event. Your own event. He's not going to only help you build your own event. Some of you, that'll be a 3-day event. But some of you, it's just going to be a local event. Can I tell you the number one strategy that Advance Your Reach is using in 2022 is local events? We're doing localized small events and localized dinners. I will say this out loud. We are not doing another platform live until May of 2023 because we're so focused on the localized events. Some of you might want a localized event. Some of you might want a virtual event. Some of you might want a bigger event. Tomorrow, Pat's not only going to help you understand how to build your own physical event, he's also going to help you launch your first digital stage. And what's going to grow that digital stage, whether you choose a YouTube channel, you choose a Facebook group, you choose Instagram, you choose LinkedIn. How do you build your own digital stage and your own physical stage? Tomorrow before lunch, everybody will build one physical and one digital. Why just one? Because building your own stage takes some time and some resources. Being on other people's stages doesn't take the time and resources, but you don't own them. These are 2 ways you build your platform. Guess what? The third thing we're going to do after lunch are the top 10 sales and marketing strategies that will work for you in 2022, and we're going to have you choose 3. Why 3? Because when you have 3, you're married to Sam. Most of you aren't married to Sam. You're married to Sam when you have 3 sales and marketing strategies. So here's the cool part of this session tomorrow. Here's the cool part of this. Advance Your Reach knows what's working because of the clients we work with. But I sent out this text message right here, and blow this up. I sent out this text message. Hey, trust all is well. I did a quick survey of about a dozen friends of mine who I have a lot of respect for, and I asked, what are the top 3 sales and marketing strategies you guys are focused on in 2022? The people you've seen on there, including Perry Belcher, including Garrett White, and including Chandler Bolt, those 3 aren't pictured. Those 10 have responded to me. Who wants to know the most common things? I'm not going to tell you all of what they said. I'm going to tell you the common themes of what all of they said in 2022. How good does that sound? Do you realize a lot of the times you will find out about strategies after they're working? Did that resonate for some of you? Guess what? That probably means they're trying a new strategy because that one already works, so they better go try a new one. How many of you want to be out in front in 2022? You're in the right place. So coming back over here, we're almost done. Platform. 6 questions. This has everything to do with the eyes and the ears. This has everything to do with making sure that people are in front of you. I use OPS as a major customer acquisition channel, 1 through 10. I have a campaign that allows me to win OPSs on demand. I hold an in-person or a virtual event that generates revenues. I have built at least 1 digital stage that's generating leads or customers. I have a sales and marketing plan in place every year. I have at least 3 sales and marketing strategies creating customers. Where would you rate yourself in these arenas? 1 through 10. I've got 6s and 7s up here. Make sure you put platform score. David says 8 out of 60. Chris says 6 out of 60. 15, 11, 9, 14, 6, 6. Why do you think we have an entire day dedicated to this tomorrow? An entire day dedicated to this tomorrow. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm seeing these numbers and I'm so excited about this weekend. To end tomorrow, we have a student success panel that's going to talk about what's working with them. We might have one more person that joins us. And then tomorrow night, Pat Quinn will be announcing our 8 finalists here in the next session. Our 8 finalists will speak in front of 70 meeting planners who will be with us here live tomorrow, and you will learn so much from these 8. In about 75 minutes, the major Platform Live Speak-Off will take place. It's like the American Idol for speakers. And those are our contestants from last time, where we had our first female win, powerhouse Ashley win. We've done this 7 or 8 times. Like Pat said, more people have walked on the moon than won the Speak-Off. And so tomorrow night, you will get to experience one of the most magical moments. The 2 evening things, tonight and tomorrow, are so profound. So profound. Last thing, day 3. Man, I am going to start day 3 by talking about how you scale your platform. I'm going to talk about that the relationships that you have in your life, your team, your community, your mentors, your strategic partners. I'm going to talk about the relationships that you've got to have in order to scale your platform. And then session 10, Pat Quinn and I are going to do what is always our most famous session. We're going to bring everything together, and we are going to use this equation to show you the essential things that you have to do leaving Platform Live. And watch this. This should drop some fire right here. We are going to build a platform from scratch in front of you in 45 minutes or less, in a market and an industry that you would think building a platform is impossible. Why? Because we want you to get out of your way when you leave here. You are the biggest critic and the biggest naysayer most of the time. And I want to show you how simple the things that we've taught you in sessions 1 through 9 come into play in sessions 10. And then after that, I am so excited because you saw the 4 coaches that Grant said you have to follow. These 4 coaches, me and Pat Quinn, Stormy Wellington, Tim Grover, oh my gosh, I just lost the other one. Tim Story and Tim Grover. Well, 2 of those other 3 are going to be with us in session 11. And I call this transformation session because I have to tackle your mindset leaving this place. So you're going to hear from 3 out of the 4 coaches that Grant said are must follow, his favorite coaches. And then at the end, last session, we are going to take this. We're going to make a commitment to it. And I'm going to do a session that is one of my personal favorite, called the Not So Perfect Plan. What do you do when your plan does not go according to plan? How do you pivot? We pivoted last year to have our biggest year ever after losing $5 million. How do you pivot? And how do you stay committed to this plan? We will get done a little earlier on day 3, and this will be the final session that we make a final commitment to this plan. A final commitment to this plan, and you will walk out with this plan done. So I want to do this last section right here because you're about to go into breakout rooms and you're about to have conversations about your scores, some of the positives, some of the strengths, some of the weaknesses, but you're also going to talk about what you're committed to over these next 3 days. Here in a minute, we're going to breakouts. Right after the breakouts, we'll be back to start the strategic plan process. To start the strategic plan process. But let's go through this last one. In order to scale, I have a coach or a mentor. I invest time and money each month on my personal growth. I have a team of people working with me to help me reach my goals. I have a network of experts I can reach out to if I encounter an obstacle. I'm in a community of high achieving people who support my growth. This last one seems like one you've already heard, but it's not. I believe investing in myself is the greatest investment. And some of you feel that, some of you don't. And this might be a little bit higher. Gail, okay, Gail. Okay, Gail, that's good. Bigger scores there, nicer scores there. Remember, it's out of 60. It's out of 60. Yeah, we got a 14. Man, a lot of you, when you rate your overall score, are going to see that it's a failing score. But it won't be. I know your scores right now reflect something, but it will not be that way 3 days from now. 2.5 days from now, it will not be that way. And so for all of you, before we go into breakout room here, I've said this. What is the biggest thing that's getting in the way from you building your platform is you. Yeah, it's the strategies and tactics, but it's you too. It's your mindset, your mentality. So I'm telling you, day 3 is going to be a big day of getting you out of the way and making a massive commitment to this plan that we're putting together in these first few days. You see, your platform matters. Your platform matters to a lot of human beings. A lot of you might say, oh, Daryl Scott, like the guy right here. I don't know if we can bring this up on the big screen behind me really quickly. Guys, this would be great just to bring up on behind me, this slide. A lot of you might say, let's see if we can do that. Is that, okay. No, I'm talking about the slide I'm on. A lot of you are like, okay, this guy, I heard his message and it built a platform he changed my relationship with my dad. Changed my relationship. I heard them. They changed my health. Remember the 7 domains? They changed my health. I heard them. They changed my faith. They're the reason I started my faith journey and my relationship with God. I heard him and him. They changed my finances. I heard him. First event I ever went to didn't just change me from a personal growth standpoint, changed me in my business. I heard him. Impacted my business. Heard them. Impacted my relationship with my kids. These are 7 or 8 platforms that have literally allowed me to be impacted in all 7 of those areas. And now, the next platform to be built in a way stronger and greater than ever before is your platform. Is your platform. You're the one that we're committed to. Each and every one of you that are choosing to take your time and invest your money to be here. And so this is what I want you to do right now. Everybody that's an attendee of the event, breakout times. Remember, breakout times are the most important time because other people speak into you. And right after we bring you back from breakout times, every single time, this is when we have the questions pop up on the dashboard for the strategic plan. So if you are not here after the breakout times in these first 8 sessions, you will be missing pieces of the strategic plan. Do not miss. do not miss. So this is what I want you to do. I'm going to break you out into breakout rooms for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And I want you to discuss the strengths and weaknesses that you saw in your audit. What were the things that you were strong in? What are the things that you were weak in? And I want you to talk about what you're committed to these next 3 days. Your strengths and your weaknesses out of the audit and what you're committed to these next 3 days. There's going to be 4 or 5 of you in the breakout room. So if there's 4 of you, you each get 2.5 minutes. If there's 5 of you, you each get 2 minutes. As the person shares, if there's time left, I want the others of you via mouth or chat to encourage them in the thing that they're committed to. Encourage them in that thing that they're committed to. So we're going to be gone for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and just take a deeper look at the strategic plan before we take our first break of the day. So make sure you're back here after the workshop time, because we will go through this and it will take us through our first break of the morning. So we're going to dismiss you to breakouts. All of the preview rooms, stay with me. All of the preview rooms, stay with me. And guys, we will see you in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Hey guys, if you're watching this, the only people I can now see, or I can't see you, but I can see you online, is those on YouTube and those on Facebook and on our private page. So, we've got hundreds. We had thousands sign up, but hundreds of you choose to be here for this first session. And this first session, we really focused on the audit of your business. And so in the chat, if you're watching this, I would love to know. I see you, Barry. I see you, Marab. I see you, Shirley. I see you. How was your scores? How was your scores? I want to know how your scores were. Really want to know that. And so I can see you online right now. I'll even post a comment right here so you guys know that I see you. Hey, hey. There you go. You can see that I just posted a comment there from Pete Vargas. Saki, good to see you on there. So here's the deal. The promise of this first session was that we would audit your business. We would audit your business, and we'd give you the highlights around what it takes to take, your audit where it's at and take it to a whole nother level in 2022. A whole nother level in 2022. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, I'm going to bring this slide up so that you can see this, but I want to encourage you, listen, $97. If you go to joinplatformlive.com, joinplatformlive.com, $97 in 2.5 short days. We will take that audit and we will build a plan that allows your audit to increase in the score that, really, really increase in the score. And help you have a game plan that makes 2022 incredible. Incredible. So when they come back from the break is when we're going to turn this stream off, because that's when we start really with the strategic planning. The biggest piece of the strategic planning starts this next session. But as soon as they come back from the break is when we're going to turn the preview event off here. And so I really want to encourage you. Janice said my score was a 95. So Janice, that was out of 300. Janice, you got to be here. You got to be here. And keep that slide up one more time. Somebody asked for the URL again. Joinplatformlive.com. $97. As soon as you sign up, it will redirect you to be able to access the dashboard and access the event. In the event, you're going to get the 3 days. You're going to get your game plan built. You will have the workshop. I will see your face on the screens, and you will be here with us for these 3 days. So I know that's a commitment, but I really believe that what you got to experience in this first session is just scratching the surface of what's about to happen over the course of the next 3 days. So who's joining me here? I want to see it I see it on YouTube. I see it on Facebook. Let me go to Facebook here for a quick second as well. Let's go to Facebook for a quick second as well. And I want to see who's here on Facebook with me as well. I got a lot of comments on Facebook. Dome, Pat Moore, Christina, Diane Herring, Gab, Sabrina, Simone, Kenneth. I see your scores. So Facebook, YouTube, also, I want to encourage you, go to joinplatformlive.com, joinplatformlive.com, $97. We audited your business now, and now the next 11 sessions, this is one. We have 12 sessions and 2 bonus sessions. We've only finished 1. And so it's going to be an incredible next few days. This will be the last time that we keep the preview session previewing. It will shut off here in about 5 minutes. They're going to give me a countdown of when everybody's coming back into the main room, and we will shut the preview session down here shortly. So any questions that you guys have? I'm going to look on Facebook and YouTube right now. Diane, I understand that. If you're clearly hearing the voice say wait, then wait. But more times than not, I see somebody knowing that they're supposed to take something out to the world and finding a reason or some excuse to get into the way. And I don't mean that with disrespect. I hope that you will consider and prayerfully consider it. Today is on fire. Thank you, Christina. I hope that you're joining us. Joinplatformlive.com. Joinplatformlive.com. Yeah, Dome says we're all here to... we're all here. Yeah, don't be discouraged by your scores, but let's put a plan in place to increase those scores. Let's put a plan in place to increase those scores. Yeah, Janice. Be here. There are people who won't be here for every session, but they're here the majority or a lot of the sessions. It's a $97 investment, so really hope that you will make that decision because they won't be here for everyone, but they're here for a lot of them. I'm going back to YouTube. Andrea says, what does $97 get me? It gets you the 3 days here at Platform Live. So as soon as you make that decision, you will be with us for all 3 days. You're getting the workbook. You're getting the strategic plan built out over the course of the days. You're getting all the breakout sessions. You're getting the bonus session tonight, the bonus session tomorrow night, the speak off, the entire 3 days. And immediately when you make that purchase, you'll be redirected to get into the dashboard and come into the main room. The reason why there's a 20-minute break after this first breakout time is to allow all of you to be able to have time to get registered and get back in here for the next session in 20 minutes. We take a 20-minute morning break this morning, and so that's why that's what you get. They are not, Coilette, they're not like to be watched later. This is intended to be live. And if you have to miss a few sessions, it's completely understandable, but we're created the experience to be here live. Dwayne, if you got a bronze, silver, and gold package, a ticket did come with that. And Dwayne, you would have been sent the details of how to claim your ticket, and you must not have claimed your ticket, Dwayne. So just reach out. Or Saki or somebody on my team can reach out. You can see Dwayne Taylor says that he's got a bronze, silver, or package, which would entitle him to be at the event. So yes, let's make sure and check with that. You can, Barry. I wish I could. You can. Andrea, hope that you will. Colette, yep, I appreciate the comments. A lot of you still on here. We're about to wind this down in just a couple of minutes. In just a couple of minutes. Let me see here. Cool. I'm going to go back to Facebook one more time. Was just in YouTube. Facebook one more time. Today is on fire. Yeah, Janice, you said, can I be here? How do we get into the main session? Betty Barnes, you go to joinplatformlive.com. You buy, it's a $97 ticket for all 3 days. We almost winding down. What's their time left? Okay, we got 3 minutes till we're going to end this stream, guys. 3 minutes. So, Betty, you go to joinplatformlive.com. You get a $97 ticket there. It'll immediately redirect you to join this amazing experience, get access to the dashboard, the workbook, the breakout sessions, and everything that's going on. So, and Janice, yes, if you can be here part of the time, be here part of the time. I'm telling you, you being here part of the time is better than you not being here at all. So make sure you definitely do that. So one final thing here, that's all the questions I see on Facebook, all the questions I see on YouTube. Good. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. That's a great idea. We'll at the end of this session. That's a better idea. So, yeah. So hey, as people come back in here in 2 minutes, I'll end this session officially. I'll just end the session. So you guys will stay with us here on YouTube, on Facebook, and on this. There's 3 pages I'm pulling questions from right here. Y'all will stay with us till the end of this session. So, Dwayne, you definitely sent info for sure. It's just a matter of if it went to your trash mail or junk mail or that type of deal. So awesome. All right, so hey, we're going to come back. So last time I'm going to put this up here, joinplatformlive.com. We're going to come wrap this first session up, and everybody's coming back into the room here in just a few minutes. So joinplatformlive.com. Make sure if you had a bronze, silver, or gold package that you email info@advanceyourreach.com. You would have gotten multiple emails to claim your ticket to be here today. If you don't have one, don't email. Just go to joinplatformlive.com. Joinplatformlive.com. Get your $97 ticket, and yeah, I hope that you'll join us for the next 3 days. I can close this session out, right? Like I don't know if there's anything else. Yeah, and that's it. Yep. Cool. All right, who met somebody cool? Who met somebody cool in their room? Hey, let me see this in by raising your Zoom hand. Who would have an aha or something that they feel really encouraged or challenged or what they're committed to in these next 3 days? Who would like to share some type of aha here with me right now? I'd love to see. Let me see here. Let me see. Let's go to Kate in room 2. Kate in room 2. Who else would love to share a aha? Let's go to Felicia in room 3. And let's go to my boy, I think his hand's up, my boy Russ Yeager in room 3, like what he's excited about. Come on, you 3. Let's bring these 3 up. Just something that you feel like inspired or excited about right now that you'd want everybody to know, just kind of coming out of this first session. Go ahead. Kate in room 2, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Pete? Thanks so much. We had a great group, and what I noticed with a lot of us have gotten some courses or mentorships and read books, and somebody said something that I think a lot of us can relate to. Knowledge without action isn't going to change lives. I forget how he ended it, but knowledge without action doesn't do the trick. So we can be very knowledgeable and hear all the tricks, but we have to take the next steps to get it done and have a plan and then implement the plan and actually finish. #finish.
I love that. Well, are you going to, you're finishing, you're here all 3 days with us, right?
Awesome. Yes, I am.
Every day, you got every session blocked off. You're committed to finishing these 3 days.
It's true, as long as I get little breaks every now and then to keep myself.
We're about to go to one right now. We're about to go to one right now.
I'm with you.
Hey, thanks for being with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Pete.
All right,
you
our next person. Felicia in room 3. Welcome to Platform Live.
I'm excited to be here. What I was really inspired by was the people in the room. They had 2 young ladies. One was 70 and one was 63. And they were sharing so passionately what they want to do and how they want to get their message out there. And they were transparent to say they didn't have the highest ranking, but they're here to learn. So that just inspires me. Like, no matter what your age is, just go out there and go all in. So I just told them, this is the community to be in. You're going to get so much. You're going to want to join everything, but just lean in. So I'm just inspired by the folks that's in the room and that's willing to invest in themselves. So that's
Hey, thank you for bringing that energy. I love it. You're here all 3 days, right? Yep, I see you. Good. All right, let's go to the next one. Russ in 3.
All right, Pete. What's up, bro?
What's up, brother?
Hello, everybody. So I had April and Mary Jane in my room. They were both fantastic ladies. April, I apologize if I get it wrong, but I think the name of her companies or podcasts, Of Course They Make Me Crazy, for people living with someone with mental illness. And then Mary Jane works with kids with autism, and they were both saying they need to figure out what they can offer to sell. And just hearing them from a few minutes, I'm like, you guys have so much knowledge that is like that unconscious competence. Like, you can sell coaching today for the great knowledge that you have. And those are both like amazing missions. My nephew has, autism. So like, I hope that people realize that they don't have to come up with some, like I spent a year creating my Body Transformation University, but if I was starting over, I'd start with coaching, right away. My personal aha was that I'm getting on a lot of stages doing podcasts and interviews, but I'm committed to getting on more stages where I can tell my story, my 30-minute, 60-minute story, and be able to convert into new clients.
Hey, bro, stages are coming back. And guys, anybody want to understand how to go from a lot of one-on-one? Keep Russ up here for just a second. A lot of one-on-one to one-to-many. You will hear Russ's story tomorrow on how he did that. You guys are going to get to hear from him tomorrow. It's a powerhouse story. And man, I'm stoked to have you here, bro.
Thanks, Pete. Super pumped to be here. Everybody stay engaged. You guys you're going to get a ton of great stuff. It's going to change your life. Let's go.
Let's go, everybody. So, hey, listen, this is what I want to say kind of to bring us here. So all of you on the preview here in about 3 or 4 minutes, right after that, we're going to end this session with the video. A video is going to take us to the break. And what we'll do is we'll have a 10 or 15-minute break. You'll see the clock countdown to give you a little bit of a break. We're going to have a lunch break after this next session. And then obviously we'll have, an afternoon break and a dinner break today too. So we got lots of breaks. Just know that. We got those built in. But I'm asking you to be committed, be fully committed. So let me tell you what's going to happen. And I couldn't talk about this. This is the actual strategic plan. Last year, we had seven clients, check this out, that paid us 6 figures, 7 figures, and multiple 7 figures to help them build their platform. This plan is what we start with: a one-on-one consultation day. That is a 6-figure consultation day that people pay us. I don't say that because I'm bragging. I say that because I want you to know what's at stake with getting clear on your platform strategic plan. So in session 2, session 3, session 4, session 5, session 6, and session 7, this part of the plan will be complete, where in session 8, you're going to push a button in the dashboard and it's going to print this beautiful plan off with you with all of the answers. But every time that we come back from workshop time, we will ask a few questions of you. And it'll be predicated on what was taught, the action that you took, and the breakout sessions that you had. Right after the breakout sessions, between sessions 2 and session 7, we will ask questions that will help populate your strategic plan. So make sure you are here, because this plan and leaving Sunday with this plan is huge. For all of my preview audience, this will be your last chance to join us. Join platformlive.com. Join platformlive.com. You'll get a $97 ticket, and that will allow you to come into the dashboard and have access to everything that we're going to be doing the next couple of days. Close with this story before the video. I shared the story on the front end about my mother-in-law passing away, and the 2 journal entries and the 2 stories that she had. Well, here is what was quite profound. Last Monday, as my wife and I woke up that morning, the officiant who was supposed to come officiate the memorial service, all planes out of Dallas got canceled because of pilot stuff. And so that morning, my wife asked me, "Pete, would you be okay with being the officiant for my mom's memorial service?" And I said, "I don't want to do that." People are like, "That's what you do for a living." No, that's not what I do for a living. I have never done that in my life. And so I sat there for a moment, and it's how I recalled talking to Malia about her story. I said, "Kim, I'm supposed to share your mom's story for her and challenge people." And that's when Kim sent me those 2 journal entries. And that day, I shared Malia's story. I shared who she was, what she did to overcome, and how she showed up in this world. And what I can tell you is, I would say that was probably the most powerful and anointed talk that I have ever shared, because I was sharing somebody else's story. And that story, I have heard dozens and dozens and dozens of stories of people who were able to overcome some type of hurt, some type of pain, some type of family conflict or relationship conflict because of hearing Malia's story. Your story and your message are intended to help people overcome. And this 3 days is dedicated to helping it go to another level. So I'm excited for you to be here with us. We're going to go and watch a video. This video will take us into our morning break. Get some water, go to the bathroom, because right after the break, the great PQ, Pat Quinn, will be in the house, and his session will take us into the lunch break. We will see you. Watch this video, and then right after the video, we will be going into break.
5 years ago, I was in your seat. I was at an Advance Your Reach event, and it was game changer. A year before that, I was sitting at an event, and there was Seth Godin and Gary Vee and a few others taking the stage saying, "You can become an entrepreneur, you can do this." And I said, "Okay, I can do this. I can make this happen." And one of my first things I did was I solicited the name and the contact information of the person running the event. And I said, Gio, what an incredible event. Thank you so much. You've inspired me to become an entrepreneur. But I want to learn how to speak from stage. I want to affect people the way that your speakers have. And I know it won't be today, but someday I want to be on your stage. I will come work for you. I will sell sponsorships for free for your event. Just teach me this skill. And he said, Daniel, you don't need me. You need Pete Vargas. And this started my love affair with Advance Your Reach. And I bought all the programs and I invested in myself and I came to the events. It allowed me to grow a six-figure agency to help people with their sales. And I grew my platform. I used stages as the way to grow it. And it was incredible. And now I'm the director of sales, be coming up on 4 years at the organization this March. And I'm still a student. Launched a book in January, still using stages to reach people. And this methodology works. When you grow your platform, you can get to more people in this world and help them. And I'm just so excited to be here today. And I wanted to let you know about an opportunity. And this is something that we haven't done really since 2019. We've brought back our advisor zone. And in our advisor zone, I have my advisors and I've personally coached all of them. And they are incredible individuals who understand all aspects of our framework, of understanding how to get the clarity, how to craft your talk, how to decide on your product suite, how to help choose the right platform to get out and get those eyeballs on your product or service. And so if you're struggling, if anything's holding you back during the event, if you have a question, if you're struggling, what stages might work for me, you're struggling with your signature talk, based on the audit, like what's screaming out to you that you're stuck with. We don't want anything holding you back here at the event. We want you to be consuming all the content. So what you can do is you can pop over into the advisor zone. There's going to be now a button on your dashboard that says speak to an advisor. Now, our advisor zone will be open right until the end of the event, but what I would say is don't save up your questions. If you have a question that you're struggling with, come on out and on the dashboard, click on the button, and you'll come into the waiting room, and we'll let you know if any of the advisors are available. And these are group sessions, so there'll be small, intimate groups where there'll be some 8-10 minute discussions around something to be able to help you overcome, and then you can pop back into the event. Now, that also means we're running them during the event. It's not just during breaks. And so if the rooms fill up to a certain capacity, we'll let you know you can come back. And what I have you do is when you're ready to pop over, turn to somebody in the room, in your Zoom room, and ask them, would you be willing to take notes for me while I pop out and get this question answered? And what I'll say, if you're receiving that request, it's a gift. It really is a gift, because you will take so much better notes. You'll pay much more attention to the content, and it's almost like you're learning it twice. And then you can hand over those notes, and they can do that for you when you have to run out and ask a question. So there are limited spots within each room. So be patient as we answer people's questions and come out. And we'll let you know if you need to, come back in 10 or 15 minutes when we have some more space. So we're just so excited. My team is here to give this as a gift to you. We are, a lot of you that had VIP tickets or speak off were coached already by my team over the prior week, and we got incredible feedback on that. And so we're just so excited to serve you and ensure that you are able to build your platform with confidence. We cannot wait to see you inside the advisor zone. And let's make this happen for you. So thank you so much for being here. We're so excited for this. As you go into break now, Jimmy, is there any other instructions you want to give them? Thanks.
Thank you so much, Daniel. This is an amazing opportunity for you guys, right? We talk about these virtual events, and what makes them a little different than in live in-person events is this opportunity for you to get intimate, group coaching sessions right here. So we're gonna go right here to your dashboard, back to our favorite little dashboard right here. Check this button right here, speak to an advisor. So you just heard Daniel talk about, if you wanna get into one of these rooms, here's your button on the dashboard. Do what he said. Make sure that you check in with the people in your room and say, hey, I'm going to go to this advisor session. You guys find times to stagger. So there's always somebody in there taking notes for everybody else. But you're going to go right here in your dashboard, speak to an advisor, right? You're going to continue to get points. Let's check in the points.